What happens if you are alone after 70? Risks and solutions for elderly. As we age, life often becomes quieter. The bustling sounds of a once lively home fade, replaced by stillness. The doorbell rings less often, and invitations dwindle. For many elderly, living alone can bring both freedom and fear. What happens if you are alone? This question weighs heavily on the minds of seniors across the world, stirring worries about health, loneliness, finances, safety, and independence. In this comprehensive guide, we'll explore 5 common fears that elderly individuals face when living alone, each backed by real-life stories. Then, we'll provide practical, reassuring solutions, complete with inspiring examples to help transform these fears into opportunities for a fulfilling life. These aren't just tales, they're blueprints for living your golden years with confidence and joy. So grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's dive in. Oh, and if these stories spark something in you, hit that subscribe button for Oldy Talks. We've got a treasure trove of inspiration and practical advice waiting for you. 1. Health emergencies, a lifeline. When you need it. What if a single moment could change everything, and you were ready for it? Let's talk about Dorothy, a spunky 78-year-old from Ohio. She'd always been the independent type, tending her roses and baking pies for the neighbors. But after her hip surgery, she started waking up in a cold sweat, haunted by a fear she couldn't shake. What if she fell again, alone with no one to help? I'd picture myself lying there helpless, she told me, her voice trembling. It wasn't just the pain I dreaded. It was the thought of being forgotten. Then, Dorothy's daughter gave her a gift that changed her life. A medical alert bracelet. It was simple, just a little button she could press if trouble struck. She didn't think much of it at first, until the day she slipped on her kitchen floor. I hit the ground hard and my heart was racing, she said. But I pressed that button, and a voice came through right away, so calm and kind. Help's on the way, Dorothy, they said. And it was paramedics were there in 10 minutes. She laughed through tears as she recalled it. I felt like a VIP, not some old lady left to fend for herself. Now Dorothy wears that bracelet like a badge of honor. She's back to her roses, her pies, her life, knowing she's got a safety net. Medical alert systems, regular check-ins from friends, or even a phone tree with family can do that for you too. It's not about giving up control. It's about taking it back, so you can live without that knot in your stomach. Want more stories like Dorothy's? Subscribe to Oldy Talks, and let's keep this journey going together. Loneliness. Finding. Your people again. Ever feel like the world's moving on without you? You're not alone, and you don't have to be. Take Harold, an 80-year-old from Georgia. After his wife passed, his days stretched out in silence. The house was too quiet, he said, his eyes misty. I'd sit there, staring at the TV. But it wasn't the same without her chatter. I missed feeling needed, you know. His kids lived states away, and his old buddies had either moved or faded from touch. Loneliness wasn't just a word. It was a hollow ache he couldn't shake. One day, Harold's neighbor dragged him to a community center potluck. He grumbled all the way there, until he met Ed, a retired vet with a booming laugh, and Clara, who could talk your ear off about her grandkids. They pulled him into their card game, and before he knew it, Harold was laughing too. It was like someone turned the lights back on in my life, he said. That potluck turned into weekly lunches, then a gardening club. And when Harold adopted a scruffy mutt named Buddy, his mornings got a little brighter too. He's my shadow now, he chuckled. Keeps me on my toes. Harold found his spark again, and you can too. Senior centers, pet adoptions, even a simple video call with family. Those little steps can weave a web of connection around you. It's not about filling every minute. It's about finding moments that matter. Love Harold's turnaround? There's more where that came from. Subscribe to Oldy Talks for a steady dose of hope and how-tos. Financial insecurity, taking the reins back, money troubles keeping you up at night. Let's meet Evelyn, a 74-year-old from Nevada. She'd always been careful with her savings, but after a shady contractor overcharged her for a roof repair, she started doubting herself. I felt so stupid, she admitted. I kept thinking, what if I can't afford to stay here? What if I lose everything? Every mail bill felt like a threat, and she'd lie awake, tallying numbers in her head. Evelyn decided enough was enough. She sat down with a financial advisor her friend recommended, a no-nonsense woman named Linda. Together, they streamlined her accounts, set up automatic bill payments, and even found a senior discount she'd missed. Linda showed me I wasn't helpless, Evelyn said. She'd say, "You've got this, Ev," and I started believing her. She took a free scam awareness workshop at the library too, learning tricks to spot phonies a mile away. Now, she checks her bank app with a smile, not a grimace. "I'm not rich, but I'm secure," she said proudly, "and that's worth more than gold. You don't need to be a math whiz to feel that way. A trusted advisor, a simple budget, or community classes can put you back in the driver's seat. It's your money, your life. Own it. Ready to feel that relief? Subscribe to Oldy Talks for more stories and smart tips to secure your future. Safety concerns. Making home your fortress. Again, your home's your castle. Why not feel like royalty in it? Let me tell you about Frank, a 77-year-old from Illinois. One stormy night he heard a rustle at his back door. I grabbed my phone. "Heart pounding," he said. Turned out it was just a raccoon, but it shook me up bad. After that, every shadow felt like a threat. He'd double-check locks, peek out windows, and still feel on edge. I hated that my own home felt like a stranger, he confessed. Frank fought back. He installed a doorbell camera. Nothing fancy, just enough to see who's there. He added brighter porch lights and swapped his slippery rugs for grippy ones. Then he met his neighbors at a block party and joined their watch group. "We've got each other's backs now," he said. "Last week, Sue next door texted me about a strange car, and I felt safer knowing she's looking out." Inside, he put up grab bars by the shower, small stuff that made a big difference. "I walk taller now," he grinned. "This is my place, and I'm keeping it that way." Frank's proof you can lock down your peace of mind. A few upgrades, a tight-knit crew. Suddenly, your home's your sanctuary again. Loss of independence. Holding on to you. Losing your freedom's the ultimate fear, right? But what if you could keep it, even when the odds stack up? Meet Betty, an 81-year-old from Colorado. Arthritis had slowed her down, and her kids kept hinting at assisted living. "I wasn't ready to leave my home," she said, her voice firm. "It's where I raised my family, where I feel whole. I couldn't let that go. But cooking got tough, and stairs felt like mountains. She worried she'd have no choice. Betty found a better way. She hired a caregiver, Maria, to come by a few hours a week, enough to help with laundry and meals, but not so much she felt smothered. She got a stair lift, too, and a fancy grabber tool for high shelves. Maria's a godsend, but I'm still the boss," Betty laughed. She even started chair exercises from a library DVD, building strength bit by bit. "I cook my own eggs now, and I'm darn proud of it," she said. "This is my life, and I'm living it my way." Betty's secret? Accepting help that keeps her in charge. In-home care, gadgets, a little grit. You can stay you, in the home you love. These folks, Dorothy, Harold, Evelyn, Frank, Betty, they're not superheroes. They're you, me, us. They faced the same fears and found real, doable answers. You can too. If their stories light a fire in you, don't stop here. Subscribe to Oldy Talks and join a community that's all about thriving, not just surviving. We've got more tales, more tips, more ways to make your golden years shine. Hit that button. Let's do this together. Isolation and disconnection. Reconnecting with the world ever feel like the world's leaving you behind? You're not alone, and you don't have to be. Meet Clara, a 79-year-old from Texas. After her husband passed, her once lively home turned into a silent shell. "I didn't want to bother anyone," she said, her voice soft. "But then I realized I hadn't spoken to a soul in days." She started avoiding outings, and even the birds outside her window couldn't lift her spirits. Clara decided to change that. She signed up for a painting class at the local community center, no experience needed, just a willingness to try. "I was shaking when I walked in," she laughed. "But then I met Jane, who complimented my scribbles, and we hit it off." She also joined a small walking group, just a few folks chatting in the park. Now Clara has a handful of new friends, and a painting on her wall that she proudly shows her grandkids. "I don't feel lost anymore," she said. "I feel like I belong. You can too. A hobby, a group, a simple hello. It's all it takes to start weaving your way back into the world. 7. Declining health. Strengthening body and spirit. Fear of fading health is universal. Let's talk about Jim, an 82-year-old from Florida. A fall in his garden left him rattled. I thought, this is it, I'm done for, he recalled. My bones ached, and I dreaded the next tumble. He started moving less, sitting more, but that only made him weaker. Jim refused to give up. He met with a physical therapist who gave him simple exercises, just a chair and some patience. He also got a smartwatch to track his steps, setting tiny goals each day. I started with 500 steps, now I'm up to 2,000, he beamed. He even calls his son weekly to share his progress. I feel alive again, Jim said, and I want to keep it that way. A few small changes, movement, tech, family, can put your health back in your hands. Legacy and meaning. Leaving your mark. Ever wonder what you'll leave behind? Meet Helen, a 76-year-old from Oregon. After retiring, she felt adrift. I used to be a teacher, but now I just sit, she said. I want my life to mean something, even when I'm gone. She worried her memory would fade like an old photograph. Helen took action. She started writing her life stories, teaching days, travels, in a journal for her grandkids. She donated her old books to the local library with her name on the shelf. I see kids reading them, and I smile, she said. She even volunteers to read to children monthly, her voice still full of life. I'm not just living for today, Helen shared. I'm building something that lasts. You can too. A story, a gift, a kind act. Your legacy starts now. Everyone will eventually cross the threshold of time, where hair turns silver and wrinkles tell the story of a life lived. Aging is not something to fear, but a beautiful journey if we prepare for it starting today. Imagine waking up one day, healthy, at peace, and free to live as you wish, without burdens or worries. That's not a distant dream, it's a gift you can give yourself, whether you're 40, 50, or even 80. Every small step you take now, a healthy habit, a positive thought, is a brick in the foundation of your future happiness. I truly appreciate you spending your time here with me. Thank you, from the bottom of my heart, for your precious companionship. If you find this meaningful, please subscribe to Oldy Talks so we can continue exploring the wonderful journeys ahead together. Wishing you and your family endless health, peace, and joy.